in the Tyler Price YouTube channel is about to change, because today we're looking at Black Adam. What's poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're taking a look at the film that was supposed to change the entirety of the DCEU, Black Adam, with some amazing top-tier actors like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. But today we're taking a review of the entire film and seeing why it flopped so hard. Because everybody, and I mean everybody, hated this film, but The Rock advertised it and The Rock promoted it like his life depended on it. Some did say, some did speculate, some theorized that The Rock was held at gunpoint to promote this film. The Rock was held at gunpoint to film this film. Because, goddamn, when I watched this film, did I get nothing out of it. I just sat there and watched it, and it was like, well, that was okay. So, after being granted with the divine power of the Egyptian gods and spending almost 5,000 years in guardhouse, Black Adam is freed and he decides to unloose his own style of justice to the world. So basically how this film starts is a group of people try to get to the Black Adam cave. I don't know. It's like a monastery cave, old burial ground, and they are suppressing the people of this city, this place. I forget what it's called, but there is like a government agency looking for this Black Adam area, and they are like using this area to get its resources. They're using its area for all this, that, and the other, stealing from everyone who lives there and making their lives living hell, making them live in fear, making them live in poverty. And we have a couple of freedom fighters, a couple of rebels trying to go against the government and get to this Black Adam place first, to summon Black Adam to be the hero that they think he is in the history books. And when he does actually appear, he lets fucking loose on all these government agents, kills them all, then flies away. He wakes up in this house with a kid who is a fan of Batman, Superman. This kid is like a superhero fanatic. And he tries to be his guy in the chair. He tries to be Black Adam's guy in the chair. Black Adam wants nothing to do with it. Black Adam doesn't really give a shit. Black Adam's going to go do his own thing. Black Adam then leaves and then starts causing chaos, sees the statue of himself in the city, and is like, hey, maybe I am the hero this city needs. Maybe I will be a hero, but I'm going to do it my way. And he starts killing people. Then the Justice Society come into it, and literally the only two that actually matter is Hawkman and Dr. Fate. They start fighting Black Adam. They then team up with Black Adam to go against the government. The government then gets what they need and summons Satan. And then when Satan appears, Black Adam's in prison because Black Adam was a villain, so they put him in prison, but then they summon Satan at the same time. So it's like, you're putting Black Adam in prison, but you're bringing Satan to light. Okay, makes sense. And then Black Adam breaks out of prison after a flashback where his son got killed in front of him and he got granted this like divine power which makes him immortal and indestructible. So then he gets like a second wind and then comes in to defeat Satan, but Dr. Fate was managing to hold off Satan and dies in the process. Hawkman then starts holding off Satan, and then Black Adam comes, destroys Satan, sits on the throne that everyone was talking about, the throne that was posted and pictured all over the internet, the throne that was the main marketing point of this whole film. He sits on it, and then the film ends. This film was meh at best. The visuals were all over the place. We had some really good visuals, some really questionable visuals, especially with Satan and the villain and the devil, whatever it was at the end. I forgot because I don't remember the film that well. I am struggling to remember anything that I did. Like anything, I'm surprised I remembered that much, but the devil creature, the devil guy, was a very anticlimactic villain. He killed Dr. Fate, which was probably people's most favorite character. Dr. Fate is such a good character, such an iconic character, and a big fan favorite, and he appeared for one film and was killed. He was taken out within the first film that he was ever in. These two on screen here, Cyclone and Atom Smasher, they did fuck all. You could have had this entire film without them. They wasn't needed. They brought in a few couple of quips. They made the cast sort of vary through age. These two are like the youngest in the cast, except the kid, of course. But these two were like the two new up-and-coming heroes that they tried to set up for the next couple of films before the DCEU is going to get reset by James Gunn. So, yeah, this is what these two were trying to be. These were like the Spider-Man and the... I don't know, trying to think of another... Miss Marvel of DC. They're trying to bring them into light. Lesser-known heroes, bring them into light, and give them their own movie after this one. The Rock advertised this film and said it was going to be the fucking greatest gift. This film was going to be God's gift to the earth. The Rock was promoting it so much and saying how great and good it was going to be. And then we watched it and it was shit. Everyone hated it. Everyone slated it. And The Rock just went quiet. The Rock went into hiding and he just disappeared completely. Stopped talking about it, says he's going to do a number 2, and hasn't promoted or spoke about it since. I don't know if he feels ashamed of this film, or if he feels stupid for how he advertised it. I have no idea. He probably got paid a fucking hefty chunk for it, though, so I don't see what the issue is. Again, he didn't write it, he just started it, so it's not his fault the film was shit. But we have Hawkman and Dr. Fate doing the most work. Them two are like lifting the Justice Society on their backs. They are carrying the Justice Society, with Atom Smasher and Cyclone not really doing much. I think Atom Smasher passes out and breaks a bunch of shit. I think he just caused more destruction than good, to be fair. But I did like Atom Smasher. He was funny. He had a couple of good quips. He wasn't in it for long, but I enjoyed him being there. But he wasn't needed. He wasn't needed. As much as I liked the character, and as much as I thought he was funny, I thought he was cool, I liked his quips, I liked his suit, the film could have been just the same exactly without him. Could have replaced Atom Smasher with any other hero, and it would have made the same. It would have been the same film. Same with Cyclone. I didn't really like Cyclone, though. Her power set was wind and, like, storms, and it looked cool, but... You know, again, it didn't provide anything for the film. The costumes were cool, though. I do commend the costume designers. The costumes and the set designers looked absolutely sick. All the sort of destruction they caused must have cost a lot of money. The suits look really cool. They took a heavy inspiration from Deadpool for Atom Smasher's suit, just with the white eyes and the sort of what looks to be the Deadpool-looking eyes, just in all blue. He's the only one that I got as a Funko Pop as well, because I liked him. But, you know, again, not the best film in the world. Not the best film by far. It's just, I'm going to give the rating pretty early. I'm going to give it a 5, 4.5, a 4 to 5. It's going to be a low 5 if I do put it at a 5. So, I'm going to give it like a 4.5. area, that ballpoint of a film, because the story was all over the place. The Rock fell off, I don't know. Just watching his performance as Black Adam, it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like The Rock. It didn't feel like his type of role. If I'm going to be honest, I don't know, it just felt... Something about it felt off when watching it, and I couldn't put my finger on it, and I just sat there like stone-faced the entire time. The only time I smiled or laughed was when Atom Smasher said something funny or did something stupid, and that's because I have the humor of like a 3-year-old. So if he fell over and like broke something, I laughed. And to be honest, I'm literally nitpicking at the fucking best things I can find. And Atom Smasher is one of them, but he wasn't needed for this film. Like, he was one of the best parts of the film, but he wasn't needed. He didn't progress the story in any way. He was just sort of there. So saying he's the best part of the film when he was just there for the sake of him being there says how shit this film is and how bad it is. The fight scenes were cool. There was a lot of slow motion and like slow sort of effects. Like you got to see them punch each other in slow motion, fly around in slow motion. There was quite a few explosions. There was a lot of The Rock flexing his muscles, which, you know, he's a WWE wrestler. You know, he's pretty buff. Of course, he's going to try and show off his muscles when he can. But just look at how shit this demon looks. He looks dreadful. Animation and CGI has come so far, and for whatever reason, probably because of COVID and lockdown, it's took a severe decline. It looks like this should have been made in like 2010, 2011, 2012. One of those sort of CGI films couldn't look better than this does. I was excited for Black Adam, and it turned out to be awful. He got his own Fortnite skin. Not a lot of people bought it. Not a lot of people bought it at all. I genuinely didn't see it when it was in the shop. And when they bring out a new DC or Marvel skin, I normally see it running around. But with Black Adam, nowhere to be seen. Nowhere at all. They were supposed to have Shazam in this film, but due to sort of scheduling and arguments between actors, directors, and just all-out confusion, they did not have him come back. Shazam wasn't in this film. Black Adam wasn't in Shazam. For whatever reason, arguments occurred, and it didn't happen. However, we did get Superman, Henry Cavill reprising his role as Superman for the last time in this film. And I don't know why, but in every DC film, they seem to shove in Wonder Woman. They seem to shove in Batman. They seem to shove in Superman. They did it with Shazam, the first one. They just shoved in Superman as like a surprise cameo, like anyone cared. And with the new Flash movie, they spoilt the Wonder Woman cameo. But I don't feel like Wonder Woman fit in that film. And they're shoving in Batman, and they're promoting Batman being in it and Michael Keaton being in it more than actual Flash himself. With all the merchandise around the Flash film, there's more Batman merch than there is Flash merch, but it's a Flash movie. So I don't know why they're trying to market it with like Superman being in it when he's only here for 3 seconds, and it was a shit cameo anyway. This film just shows superhero movies are going downhill. Superhero movies are going down. There is too much superhero content out in the world right now that if it isn't its own thing, if it can't stand on its own 2 feet, it's going to be shit. Because we've seen how good Guardians can be, and we've seen how good Spider-Verse can be, and we've seen how good... I cannot think of another example of a good superhero movie that's been out recently. But we've had so many absolute flops that no one wanted. We've had She-Hulk being a flop. We've had every single DC film being a flop. We've had... I'm trying to think of more. There's too many to think of. There's Ant-Man 3. There's the newest... I forgot what the newest Marvel film is. Secret Invasion, that's it. Superhero movies are going downhill. There is too many of them. It is oversaturated. But we are still watching them. And that's our problem. We will complain and criticize all we want, but we keep on watching them, and we'll keep rewatching them because we cannot help it. We go in hoping that it's going to be something good. We get a shit experience out of it, but we'll still go and watch the next one. And as long as we keep watching it, as long as we keep sort of going back to watch these new crappy shit that they're just piling and piling out, it's just going to keep... They're just going to keep piling out more shit. And I said it with so much stuff. If it makes money, they will keep doing it. They will keep pushing out this constant flow of shit. Maybe we'll get a couple of good golden nuggets in there. Like Spider-Verse, like Guardians 3. Like, cannot think of another one. We're just going to keep getting constant flow of shit. I will admit they're starting to pick up again with Spider-Verse, Guardians of the Galaxy, Blue Beetle, all these decent really good films, superhero films are coming back, and there is an argument about superhero fatigue, and I will be tackling that on the channel at some point this week, talking about superhero fatigue and if it exists, so stay tuned for that video. But Black Adam, it didn't work out, and I do feel sorry for The Rock because he put a lot of effort into it, but I am going to give it a 4.5.